All right, she is the original Spacewoman, a new documentary about Eileen Collins, the first woman to pilot the space shuttle, will be screening tonight in Arlington. We have the honor of welcoming her into our studio today. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks. Well, thanks for having me here.
It is an honor. You're a NASA pioneer. What was it like to have your story on the big screen?
Well, what was it like? First of all, I was a little bit hesitant about having my story on the big screen. I didn't know. You got to put a little bit of trust in your team, your producer, your director. They did a great job. I'm very happy with the final product. I think the music is wonderful, and it really tells the story. So I'm proud of the final product, and you know my family is in also, and it's not just about the 4 missions I flew on the space shuttle, but it's about like an astronaut in. You know, we have families, and what is our home life like? And the risk that we take, what effect does that have on, like, our spouses and our children? So that really comes out in the film.
I think that's probably a part of it, too, that a lot of people don't even think about because they're so focused on the astronauts and the mission, but how does it impact the people around you? This is actually based on a book, I understand, that you wrote called Through the Glass Ceiling to the Stars. What was it like to write that story? I'm sure that was a good kind of like prep before doing the movie.
I'm very glad that I wrote this book. It only happened because of the pandemic. And if you remember, March of 2020, the country, the world basically shut down with the COVID virus. So I had nothing to do. All my travel stopped, and I was in the house, and like, what am I going to do? So I had a co-author who had been bothering me for a very long time. Let's write a book together. So I called him and said, let's do it. So I wrote the book, and he helped us get a publisher. And anyway, the book came out at the end of 2021, and my producer, Keith Haviland, read the book, and he called me, emailed me, and said, I would like to do a film on your book, which was a little bit intimidating at the time. It took us a while, but we eventually got me to say yes to do the film. And I'm really happy I did, because it really, I think people will go see the film and they're going to feel good. It's a real feel good, it's a resilient story, and I think they'll come out with, you know, I think not only feeling good, but with some ideas on how to like overcome challenges in life.
Sure, and people really admire and look up to you and what you do and what astronauts do as a whole. What is it like, you know, knowing how many young girls, women you're inspiring? We look at the Artemis mission that just launched, Sunny Williams. I mean, you had a really big impact.
Yeah, so I do have a message for young people, and I think it really kind of depends on the age that you're at. Like if you're in school, stay in school. I tell young people, like, do your homework and all that stuff, but take math and science. And take math and science all the way through 12th grade, because it really, even though you may not go into that for your career, it teaches you a way to solve problems. And I think it gives you a certain type of confidence that you learn how to define a problem, the methods to solve a problem, and you're teaching your mind a way of logic. And so that's my message. And then, of course, you can always say, have a big dream, dream big, but I like to be more specific than that. I think as a young person, set a mission for yourself. Like, what is my mission in life? And it takes a little bit of searching to find out what that is. And then keep coming back to that. And then and it's okay to change that too, because we learn and we meet new people and we change as we go through life. I had wanted to be an astronaut since 4th grade.
Wow, so you knew.
That never went away, but there weren't any women astronauts back then. But as time went on, NASA opened up the astronaut, I want to say, career field to women, and there have been many women mission specialists, small number of women pilots. There's more now because we have role models out there. And so I think getting the story out and encouraging people, like, look, someone else did it. It's possible for you to do this too. I came from a background that was, you know, my family didn't have a lot of money. You know, we had been on, this comes out in the film, we had been on government assistance for a while. You know, my dad and my mom, they both had a lot of issues. But in this country, you can, even if you have a hard time growing up, you can set a mission for yourself, set a dream for yourself, and work towards that, because the opportunities are incredible. And you know, look, you can go work at NASA. I mean, think about that.
Yeah.
Exploring space, learning about the universe that we live in. You know, what an inspiring message.
Sure. You don't have to let your current surroundings define you or define you for the rest of your life.
Yes,
Anything
exactly. And so there is an amount of hard work that has to go into it. You know, things aren't just going to happen. You set a mission and then you make a strategy on how you're going to get there, but you have to work for that. And so I think, you know, having good energy levels. So I also tell young people, take care of yourself. You know, just eat right, sleep right, exercise, get involved in community activities, don't do drugs. You know, do not get involved in any kind of addiction, because, you know, that is something that's, you know, my family, you know, my dad was an addict and my mom in her own way was, and that can really overwhelm your life. And so I try to tell young people, don't get started, you know, don't take that first step. Instead, work on, you know, be in a sport. I mean, be in a club at school, you know, join something as a challenge, like debate club. Like, who would ever think of joining debate club? And it's so good for you. Or, do something, you know, sewing club. And I always tell people that the fact that I know how to sew helped me as an astronaut, because I'm able to fix things in space because I have those techniques.
Sure.
Mechanics, and there's all kinds of hobbies that you can, you know, the world is just full of great opportunities of things that you can do. So challenge yourself a little bit, get out of your comfort zone and go out there and do new things.
Perfect. Well, your story is so inspiring, perseverance, what you went through and what you made of your life. So again, this is tonight in Arlington. Tell people where they can see it.
Yeah, it's at the Regent Theater in Arlington. It's going to show at 7:30 tonight. I'm going to be there, so when the show is over, I'll be doing a Q&A with the audience, and my producer, Keith Haviland, will be there. So, and he's done many other films, too. He's done Mission Control, and he did Gene Cernan's movie, Last Man on the Moon. So he'll be there, and you can talk to him also. It'll
be a wonderful event. Go check it out. Get your chance to talk to Eileen and see her in person. Thank you so much for coming in and for being such an inspiration to so many women.
Yeah, thanks a lot. Thanks for having me here.
Of course. We'll be right back.